my name's Tom Otley from Business Traveller, and welcome to the latest of our flight reviews. It's 2021, pretty much halfway through April. There's still another month until people are able to fly, but we've managed to get an invitation to the World Travel and Trade Congress out in Cancun in Mexico, and so got permission to fly, and I thought it worthwhile just putting together a few thoughts on what it's like flying long haul in these pandemic times. I'm flying in British Airways from London Gatwick. It's a 10-hour flight, just over a 10-hour flight over to Mexico, and we're on a 777 in Club World, the old Club World rather than the new Club Suite. As far as the experience of going through the airport was concerned, the first thing I guess would be it's slightly odd flying with British Airways from the North Terminal. They used to fly from the North Terminal, then they moved to the South. During the pandemic times it's now back to the North. So the first odd thing I guess is that there's no lounge there at all. So what they're doing is offering you a £30 voucher at Pret-a-Manger. Or I guess you could spend it at WHSmith or Boots, providing it was on them food and drink, no alcohol. The other odd thing, of course, was that the North Terminal was pretty much empty. There aren't many flights going out. I think there was a British Airways flight to Antigua, there was one to Cancun, and then just a few other flights with other airlines. Very, very quiet at the airport on that Saturday morning. Only a handful of flights for the whole day as far as I could see. Obviously you've got to keep face masks on throughout the whole journey, in the taxi or public transport to the airport, through the airport, waiting in the gate area, and then obviously on board for the whole flight. So if you are flying, first tip is bring a lot of these face masks, because while you might have made one last for a few hours when you're going in and out of shops, obviously if you're wearing them hour after hour, the advice is to make sure that you do change them regularly, and even if you don't follow that advice, you'd want to, because they do get a bit dirty after a while. The service so far has been actually just as you'd expect. I mean, it's pretty tough for the staff, because obviously they're having to wear masks and also talk through them to members of the public, to the passengers, but the service is exactly as you'd expect. Very good, very warm. I guess everyone's kind of looking forward to travelling again. Most people can't yet, but they will be doing in a month or so, all being well, from May the 17th, from the UK at least. So it's it's great to be travelling, and it's great to be promoting travel again, which is the purpose of this conference that I'm going to, the WTTC in Cancun, which is why I got permission to travel in the first place. Here's the menu. We start off with the cocktails. Gin Zing sounds nice, which is gin, obviously, but citrus and sparkling water served over ice. I actually had that, just tried it about half an hour ago. With the sparkling water wasn't particularly sparkling, so I sent that back and just decided to go for a gin and tonic, which was incredibly strong. So I got some extra tonic, which should be enough to keep me going through the entire flight. As you can see, there's a couple of other options there: Cranberry Blush and Johnnie Ginger. We've got mocktails, a decent range of spirits, and liqueurs, and digestifs, and some beers there, and non-alcoholic drinks. And then over to the food. As you can see, the menu has the same starter, but then a choice of beef, fish, or a vegetarian option. And then the selection of desserts and cheeses. I actually went for a special menu because I'm trying to be healthy, so I went for a vegan menu, which is this one here. It's very, very nice. And then we're going to get a light meal before we land. It's the starter of Greek feta cheese, and then a selection, well, you choose from a selection of the chicken breast or the pasta, with the desserts of chocolate cake. And here are the wines. You can see actually that BA won Best Business Class Cellar in Business Travellers, Cellars in the Sky in 2018. So we've got a choice of champagne, the standard brut, and then also a rosé. And then the white wines, Sauvignon Blanc, and a Spanish white wine. The red wines, Chilean Pinot Noir and a Bordeaux. I don't know which one that is actually because I haven't had any red wine, but maybe I'll try and find out. And then a port. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me through the face mask. I mean, you're only supposed to keep it off when you're eating and drinking, and then only for short periods. I mean, there's a few people in the cabin maybe who aren't being as quite as strict about that as you might think, but that's up to the flight attendants, and you know they are telling people to put it back on, certainly when they're walking around the cabin. The service has been excellent through the flight. We're about 3 hours into the 10-hour flight now. Just had the food. Still, obviously, a day flight because it's only late lunch. And if you go forward the 6 hours Mexico time, or go back rather, it's only 7 in the morning. So we've still got a long way to go. Hopefully, get some sleep sometime during the flight. Although, obviously, all the lights are on in the cabin and the blinds are up, so it's quite light. As far as the flight's concerned, compared to how it would have been before COVID, it's pretty much the same. I guess it's frustrating. There's things like, there's no club kitchen, so you can't just go up there and get yourself some snacks. But having said that, if you ask for the snacks, I'm sure they'll be brought to you. The in-flight entertainment is pretty much the same. It's kind of strange after a year of watching stuff on, I don't know, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or at home. The entertainment doesn't seem particularly up to date to me, so the only thing I particularly want to watch is Tenet. And I saw that at the cinema last year, and then again on a small screen. But I'm hoping if I watch it a third time, I'll actually understand it. The club class cabin, so the 32 odd seats here in Club World, it's pretty much occupied. I think there's like 1 or 2 empty seats, but then that's I think because there's only 1 flight a week at the moment over to Cancun, and with this conference going on, it's always going to be pretty busy, I think. One thing you do notice in this Club World seat, having experienced the new club suite that British Airways does, is just how little space there is to actually store things. I mean, obviously that was the big thing with the new seats, that they found more places to store things. I mean, both myself and the guy sitting next to me, we've got our bags under the Ottoman seat. I've got stuff to the side of me, and if you want to do some work and have a drink, well, you're already taking that risk that the moment you move your laptop, you knock a drink into your own laptop bag, which is I've done before and is particularly upsetting. You've also got to watch, and this is true of many business class seats, that if you're charging your phone in this USB by the side and you move the seat, you really have to make sure that the seat doesn't swallow your phone, because if you do, and they give warnings about it, that's it. You mustn't try and get it out yourself, because obviously if you crush your phone, it's got a lithium battery in, and then it's a whole world of pain. Having said that, the Club World seat's going to be around for a few years yet, as these aircraft gradually get reconfigured. So, there are worse seats. I know people have got a lot of gripes about it. They're stepping over the feet of the people in front, because obviously it's a yin-yang, so some people are backward facing like we are at the moment. I'm at the front of the aircraft flying backwards, but to get out of the seat I have to step over the feet of the person there. I don't know who's that more annoying for, the person I have to step over or me having to do the step, but those things, gradually the direct aisle access will come about as the Club World seat is replaced by the suite. But if you've flown up this seat enough, you either have your favourite seat or you put up with whatever you can get in terms of an inward facing seat or an aisle seat. This is the USB charging and the remote control IFE. I mean, one of the slight problems that you have with this seat is there is absolutely nowhere to store anywhere. So, this is all my stuff, and these seats come down, and then they come down, so you've got a seat that you can put your feet on, or it would do if I didn't have all my bags under it. You see, imagine both of those seats, Ottoman seats, footstools really, because you're not allowed to sit on them. Well, they're not Ottoman seats, they're kind of stools, just footrests really, and what happens is the bed reclines and reaches out towards those footstools, and then you've got somewhere, you know, so it makes it a fully flat bed. Just sort of moving back a bit, so the guy next to me has just left for a second, so you can see, get a bit more idea of what it all looks like. That's the IFE screen, and obviously that just flips out. Let's see if I can show you that. Just trying to keep the microphone while doing all of this. There we go. So that's goes forwards and backwards. And tilts. We've got the those stools there. IFE. And then those are the hand control. And that pops out of the side panel. I won't touch his. I'll just show you mine. So obviously it pulls out like that, and then you've got controls. Goodness me, they've been around a long time. Actually, the screen quality is pretty good. Let's get it out again. There you go. There's Tenet playing with my hand. It's pretty good quality, that. I'm going to have to rewind. No wonder I don't understand this film. Just keep stopping and starting it. There we go. But yeah, I mean, you know, when we spoke about the new club suite that BA's installed, one of the big things was trying to get some storage. I mean, there is some storage. There's this, they call it a foot locker. You put your shoes in there, or I've got water and things like that. But other than that, there isn't actually anywhere to store anywhere to store anything. I mean, you can see here the guy's just got, I think he's got a glass of wine under there, but also the plastic bottle of water, and that's it. There's no room for anything else. Still business class, isn't it? Could be a lot worse. Right, so we're about 45 minutes before we get into Cancun. It's been a pretty uneventful journey, thank goodness. I mean, seatbelt sign on a few times. I haven't recorded much because the guy next to me was asleep and I didn't want to disturb him. But yeah, I mean, you know, really good flight and good service. Hope you've enjoyed the flight review. Leave your comments, tell us what you'd like to see more of. Hopefully more flying and hopefully more new seats as opposed to these older ones. But I thought it was useful for you to see what it's like flying COVID. Pretty much the same, but with masks, lots of hand sanitizer, and of course you need some permission before you leave. So let's hope that's coming in May the 17th. Until next time.